Hi, everyone, and welcome to Chair Yoga and Meditation. It's funny, I've got a whiteboard that I use in my space here to help me organize myself and plan for class. And yesterday, I took this space is dedicated to yoga pretty much, and I often attend classes, Zoom classes, or view something on YouTube right here. So I certainly seek out um, the teachers, that I can be influenced by as well. Anyway, I got up out of the class yesterday and just went right to the whiteboard, cleaned it all up. There you go, blank slate, and started writing out the 8 limbs of yoga. It was not introduced in the class. Didn't even come up. And I just walked over to the whiteboard and wrote out the 8 limbs of yoga. And I'm here this morning saying, um, there they are. How am I to weave those in? But what I came to as I was waiting for you all to join me today was we've approached this before. Some of you who've been with me for years, we've approached this study of the 8 limbs of yoga. I'd like to do it again. And from what, just as we were gathering and what was shared, feels very appropriate now that we can start leaning in to yoga's ancient tradition, wisdom. And this might be a good way to sort of up our game, in terms of yoga's gifts to us, that we realize it on a deeper level than simply the movement of the body, the awareness of the breath. Those have served us well. Those have served us well to know that and practice that. But let's open the door, and that's going to start next week, to a study of the 8 limbs of yoga. So I guess my thought would be that I'll have something for you as part of the email. That's what I'm thinking, is that as part of the email that I send out, I'll write something up, little information, some guidance from what I have learned, and food for thought. And how it shows up in class, I'm not real clear on that right now, but we'll see how that shows up, what happens with that. So the 8 limbs of yoga is a process that I'm gonna introduce next week. So all right, let's begin our transition now. Sit up real tall. Take some deep cleansing breaths so you really feel that you're becoming more and more aware of the fact that you are breathing and that you're using better posture than usual. You're just very attentive to that, how you're holding yourself up. Let's keep eyes open for a moment. Let's keep eyes open. So you can start to, soften your gaze. You're trying to allow yourself the ability to sort of mute what your eyes are trying to pick up and, make a decision about, comment on, all these things that we do unconsciously. And instead just soften the gaze, that your eyes are open and you're aware that you're in the room that you occupy, but that you don't fixate on it. You instead really let that gaze be soft enough that you're incorporating it into this process of transition now, a softer gaze. Start to feel how your body moves when you breathe. Soften your mouth, relax your tongue, your jaw, so you're not clenching in your mouth at all. And also relax the muscles around your eyes. And that, what I've just described, could be held through the whole class. You never have to have tension in your eyebrows. You never have to be gritting your teeth. You can keep your face soft. And we're going to begin now with that prayer I often use for myself. May what needs to be said is said. What needs to be heard is heard. What needs to be released is released. And that which can be embraced is embraced today. And let's begin with some movement now, centered around your neck and shoulders. So just at this very opening here, I want to see if we can move our body in a way that ear tilts towards shoulders. And see if you can, see, you can observe it in me, the slant, that what naturally arose for me is this kind of slant, one shoulder up. I'm trying to even that out so that it's just the movement of the neck. Now, the problem is you're dealing with a teacher here. The person that is demonstrating for you has a very limited range of movement in my neck. So what you see is not ideal, but try to work with the concept of what's happening here. Ear towards shoulder, stretching. One side has got elongated, the other side is sort of, uh, in that shorter position. And then we'll bring our head back to neutral. I want you to move your shoulders, the shoulder roll kind of thing. Any way your head wants to move, let's offer that. So let your body be your guide. I'm going to use the Guru Dev. Remember that? Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Just a quick tutorial on that. Remember that is Om, the sound of the universe, the universal creation. And Namo means reverence for, more commonly translated as I bow to. So Om Namo is reverence for the creation. And then Guru Dev is the teacher within. It's a divine connection to ourselves. Guru Dev Namo, reverence for that, reverence for the Guru Dev. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Let's remember to tap into your own guidance. We're going to the other side now, ear towards shoulder, trying to level out the shoulders. And breathe into the sensation you're experiencing. So where you're feeling this, that's where you're trying to direct your breath. Ear towards shoulder. Full breath in and out, smoothing out the breath, waiting, just allowing the body to make its subtle adjustments. And then let's come back to center. Again, some shoulder rolls, some movements that help to reset. A little different position now as we stretch. Instead of ear toward shoulder, it's chin toward, your armpit, kind of like. So you're dropping down, chin toward the armpit in that direction. And see if there's any movement, any swaying that you could do with your head. Maybe from center to that position by the armpit, just moving and experiencing that. Breathing in and out through your nose if you can. One more full breath right here. Let's gently and mindfully bring our head back to neutral and go to the other side now, dropping your chin toward that armpit. So it's no longer reference to the ear. We're now referencing our chin. So we're holding our head in a particular way. And you're going to try to sway the head like you were doing on the first side. Just see if you can move a little bit here. For me, this is very different on this side, very tight on this side. So just saying. Pay attention to your breathing. It's nice and steady. And very mindfully now come back to center where you feel like you're in a neutral position. Using that same reference, your chin, draw a circle. As high up, as far over as obviously you're not moving your body to accomplish this. You're trying to isolate the movement in the neck and head, but you're trying to draw as big a circle as you can. It's just that simple, I guess. Draw as big a circle as you can and stay with the very same circular movement you started with for a few rounds. So you give it a chance to find that movement and stretch into it. Just notice how your breath is adjusted. You might be breathing out of your mouth. Next time your chin is down, take a pause. You're just looking down, chin tucked down. Sit up real tall, feel like you're lengthening your spine, and then change the circular direction now. Your chin's still leading the way, a big circle going the other direction. Pay attention to the whole circular movement so you can feel it. Cooperate with it. Finish it up now, exhaling completely. Come back to center. So it's like you're bowing. Inhale with me, palms come together overhead. Exhale, we bow at the heart. Inhale up. Exhale, come all the way down and around. And then let's get a hold of our cloth. Putting that, it's in its diagonal position. So it's as long as it can be with if you're using a washcloth. And then see about drawing that behind your head without ducking. So if you can get your elbow and arm, upper arm real close to your head and you haven't ducked, great. That's the position you want to get to. If that is not possible because of your particular range of movement, you're going to adjust your arm so the head is held erect no matter what. So we got it up there. Now see if you can find that other end of your cloth, pull that in and up. So you're kind of walk your fingers and hands toward each other to the point where you can still hold it. You got your hands as close to one another as you can. And then let's try some movement side to side, keeping that arm very close to your head and ear. See how that feels. We're going to do a stretch on both sides with both arms up. So we're going to feel our way through this. You know, how you're sitting, I'm going to come back up a moment. How far your feet are apart could make a big difference. So if you need a wider base, open up your legs a little bit. So as we bend to the side, you've got a nice wide base. It gives you more, sense of security in the way you're tipping yourself here. Excellent. Let's come back up. Now keep your arms the same. Let's change the movement. I don't like this one nearly as well, right? It just doesn't seem to be accomplishing much. And come back up. Let's release that cloth. So we've switched hands now. And we'll lift up. Remember, no ducking. So this side might be a little bit different. Trying to get your elbow up and your arm as close to your head as you can. Walk your fingers and hands toward each other. Balance in the pelvis now. I think this is our best bet. We're gonna just stick with this. Now, how you're facing, lift your face, kind of play around with that. What does your face want to do? What just seems to naturally arise as to how you're holding your head? And we'll judge that by where we're facing. Turning our head this way or that way, down, up, over. Your breath will be your guide. If you're breathing easily, readily, then this is good work. This is all good work that you explore. If all of a sudden you tighten up and kind of backstep a little bit, let's go back to where you were before when your breath was easier to manage. Finish the breath. Let's come back up. And we're going to switch, but we're going to take a little time out here to roll the shoulders, move around a little bit. And this time when we do it, we're going to be very mindful of our breath. We're going to do a breath that goes point to point. So it's an ascension of the breath in and a descension for the breath to go out. So point to point reference. You pick the body parts. I'm going to use my spine. Point to point reference. Let's see how that shapes us here. So how we add that very particular pranayama. Head up, remember that's a must. Get a hold of the cloth, walk your fingers toward each other, get your hands as close to each other as you can, feet to the floor. As we start to lean to the side now, find that breath starts at the pelvis, inhales up to the top of the head, for example, exhales back to the pelvis. Very particular breath. See if the inhale allows you to express anything bigger, any more opening, anything that feels expansive. And use the exhale as a rest, not to let go and cave in, but just resting. Finish the breath you're on. We'll come back to center. We're going to switch. So we let go of that cloth and we got it in the other hand now. Lifting up, bending, and again, placing it as close to your head as possible. And just wrap that arm around behind you and you start to walk your hands toward each other. Feet to the floor. Tilt. Notice how you're holding your head. And then find your point-to-point reference of the breathing. Very particular pranayama. Trust that the movement you might be experiencing, like all of a sudden you tilt your head a little different way. Trust that. Trust the Guru Dev that you're just feeling your way into this. Let's deepen that breath so you really feel it moving from point to point. Beautiful. Let's come back up. Release the cloth altogether. I'm just going to put it to the side. And some shoulder rolls or shrugs. Bring your legs closer together again. So we're back to hips distance apart. Maybe this is where we want to get that block back in place. The block is between the thighs. Turn palms up on your lap and close the eyes down. So now we're going to close those eyes down and stay with it for a moment as we name our intention. We connect with ourselves in a very intimate way. How'd that feel in your body? Sometimes movement that we don't often do will create an emotional response or just a response that you just weren't expecting. Palms are open in that gesture of receptivity, open to receive. The point-to-point breath reference comes back. Very intentional with your breathing. And then exhale completely and flutter your eyes open. Inhale with me. Palms are together overhead. Look up if that's agreeable. Exhale, we bow at the heart. Inhale up. Exhale, take your backstroke all the way down and around. And the arms will come alongside the frame of the chair and you're going to pull back. Now, what I want you to really feel today is the tilt of your pelvis. I'm going to turn to the side. You don't need to do it. So that when you're coming into this very familiar cow pose, the extension of the spine, very familiar, notice what's going on with your pelvis. It's tilting. The tailbone is lifting a little bit. So if you can just imagine that, I've often used the block as a kind of a reference of what the pelvis is doing. And so it's going to be tilting. And then when we go to the other pose, the cow pose, the cat pose, it's going to tuck. So that's the variation that you feel in these poses. So really notice the tilt of your pelvis. Keep your head real neutral. Don't look up. Just kind of keep it neutral, stretching into it. Getting your body's getting trained about this. And then grab hold of your kneecaps and tuck the pelvis, pull the belly button in toward the spine. So you feel the roundness of the low back. Maybe that's for today. That's our primary experience, is that because we're very aware of the movement of the pelvis, that you can zero in on the experience that's going on in the low back. Remember, no tension in the face is needed. We're breathing both in and out for now, shaping this, feeling the tuck. All right, let's start it. Let's start our vinyasa. Tilt and tuck. And you know the vinyasa refers to inhale and exhale. So you're connecting breath to movement. So be aware of what's going on with your pelvis as you move through your vinyasa. Tuck and tilt. A couple more of them. Moving through the spine and particularly noticing how the pelvis accomplishes that for you. Come back to neutral. Let's just raise those arms up. Palms face forward, fingers are together. Inhale looks like that. Feels like a full body stretch. Exhale, make those W arms and open up your heart. Push into the floor so you feel like the full body engagement. Open the heart on the exhalation. Inhale up. Exhale, just straight on down with the arms. Their arms are real close to the frame of the chair. Just a movement up and down. Keep your arms close to you. Get strong with your belly wall. Excellent. Let's meet in the wide open with palms facing forward. We're in a T shape, thumbs pointing toward the ceiling. I want you to turn this when you move your hands toward each other. So one hand's going to turn to look at it. Turn your shoulders, turn your head to look at that. Come back to the T, go the other way. Turn to look at that. Find your own rhythm of movement. I get a kick out of the fact that when I'm doing this, there's lots of movement with that block. You know, your legs are accommodating this little scissor action. So try to squeeze into the block a little bit so it doesn't go anywhere. Remember, you don't have to keep up with any pace I've created. You're trying to be in touch with your rhythm of your breathing. That's the movement. Let's do one more on each side. And when we come back to our T shape, let's bend those elbows and spread the fingers apart. And drop the fingers down so we come into that scarecrow. Start to notice how your neck is doing when you've got your arms held in such a kind of cockeyed way. See if you can relax the shoulder blades. And slowly now, very slowly, let's bring the arms down alongside the frame of the chair. Maybe you'll feel that lovely feeling of letting go in the body. And for now, we're going to lose the block. So we can come back to the bent elbows, the goddess shape, and open up our feet. Heels are in, toes are out. Make sure you feel balanced in your pelvis. You're in a good spot on that chair. You're not going to slip off. You're right where you want to be. Let's do an open and close. So open looks like that. Exhale, close it all up. Now, if this is not accessible to you for whatever reason, you just don't feel safe with it, try doing just the arms and then just the legs. So alternate maybe just the arms and then do the legs. Big inhale, exhale, close it up. Open it up, hold that, drop those hands down so you're into that movement in that looks like the scarecrow, and then slowly bring the arms down alongside the frame of the chair. Scoop underneath your legs and just lift a leg at a time, like you're trying to kick something away from you. Big lift. Work your way toward that. So a few of them might be just a little bit of a lift, but you get the hang of it. You start building strength, and then you can really get going with a big lift. If you haven't done it yet, kind of look toward that. So you're allowing your shoulders and your head to move in the direction of the movement of your legs. Can you pick up the pace at all? At any amount, just pick it up. Excellent. Finish it up. So it feels balanced to you. You did the same number of kicks on each side. Bring your hands to your thighs. Let's circle around now as we let our body just start a reset. We're all catching up with our breathing. Change the direction whenever you feel like it, but be sure you do change it at some point. And let's bring our legs back to a hips distance apart. As a matter of fact, we're going to cross right over left, squeezing the legs so you feel kind of centered with that bound position. And then the arms, just extend your arms out. I'm turning, you don't need to. So I'm just kind of figure out how I want my arms. So you're going to put your right arm underneath and the left arm on top. And when you bend your elbows, there you are. You can either just bring them up and you're touching backs of your hands together, and that's it. Or you can bind them by keep wrapping so you can somehow grab hold of your fingers, weave your fingers together. So just lifting up is perfectly fine. The hands are touching, or you bind them. So some of you might be familiar with this as the eagle pose. So lifting up those elbows, squeeze your legs, exhale, bring yourself down towards your belly button. Inhale, lift up as far up and your head tilts back as feels good and comfortable for you, and round down through the back body. It's like you're tracking the midline energy center. You're just really in touch with this central channel. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold down and around. You're rounding through the back body. Last time, lifting way up. Let's hold it. Lift elbows, lift forearms up. Notice what's going on with your head and neck. Unwind your arms. Keep your legs the same. Unwind your arms so you end up just holding on elbow to elbow. You've got one hand on one elbow, the other one making a little frame. And let's try a little tick-tock. Squeeze your legs for stability. And if it's just not giving you the stability you want, unwind your legs and get your feet positioned in a way that gives you a nice firm base that you want. Try to pay attention to how you're allowing your head to move. Let's come back to center. Take a big backstroke to come out of that. We're going to get our legs uncrossed. Any movement your body needs to reset. Side 2 means the other leg's on top, left leg on top. And you're going to get your arms situated so that your left arm is under, right arm on top. Bend the elbows. Again, you're either just letting the back of your hands come together, or you're weaving somehow so that your hands are more clasped. And we do the same movement in lifting up, and exhaling as we round through the back body and bring those joined together elbows towards your navel. This is one that I think that balance between ease and effort applies. So you're kind of squeezing yourself in toward the midline. But you don't want to overdo that. So just like it makes it feel more steady, but we don't need to squeeze it out. Just keep yourself steady by being aware of that midline track, but don't overdo. Big lift, look up, breathe both in and out, elbows, forearms up, head is tilted back. And then start to neutralize that. And again, we're holding on to the elbows so we framed our head, and we're going to tick-tock just a little bit. Coming back to center, take a backstroke to come out of that. And unwind your legs. Let's get a hold of the block now. Get a hold of your block. I'm going to put it over here to my left side. And let's just kind of scoot ourselves over just a tad toward that side. So you still feel very supported by the chair, but you're not as centered as you were. You're over to the side a little bit. So You want to be able to move your leg out. So if that means you got to scoot a little bit farther forward on your chair, because we're going to extend this leg out. And here's what I want you to do about your foot. How does it feel on your knee? The placement of your foot to the floor there depends on what your knee wants. So you work with that. You seem like you're pressing down into that extended leg, and your foot's going to be, I'm going to say you got a thumbs up on how you put it there if your knee is satisfied with that. How's that? So we're squaring ourselves toward, the front of the room like we were, but we got one leg extended now. What are we going to do with the block? We're going to lean toward it. And, we're managing the weight of our head by ear is facing our hand on the block. So where your block is in relation to the chair, you got to kind of sort that out. Let's take the other arm and wrap it around behind us, pull back. And then see if you can really pull back, back, back. So it feels like you're trying to lift your navel up toward the ceiling. Navel was just kind of, out in front of you, and you're just trying to twist enough that the navel is now trying to face the ceiling in some way. Back of your hand pressing into your back body. That extended leg shouldn't be floating. Make sure you feel the connection of the foot to the floor. Breathe in, breathe out. So our head is changed position because we rotated the trunk of the body so that the navel is facing up, right? You've now turned your head. Now let's bring it back to where it was so the ear is facing our hand on the block, and remove that back hand so it's just stretching past the ear up top. I like to put a mitten hand on this one. Now lighten your load so the hand on the block is not, you're not thrusting all your body weight into that. Instead, press that foot a little, let this leg start to engage a little bit more so you can lighten the load on your hand on the block. Breathe in, breathe out. I want you to just stay with this pose. The body is here, but change what you're doing with your head. You're turning your head to look at the block. You're turning your head to look at the ceiling. You're playing around with the ways that you could adjust this or experience it differently simply by positioning your head in various ways. Do it mindfully. Don't do anything too quick. You want to make sure it's okay. Push that foot to actually both feet to the floor, really connected, but certainly the bent knee side is really a stabilizing leg. Smooth out your breath. Let go of the block and bring both arms up. Palms will come together. Let's hold the palms together. Bring your foot back to center. We did it. Inhale here. Exhale, bow. Up and all the way around and down. Any way you need to move and reset the body. We're going to reset our block here. Our prop is going to, and we're going to reset the way we are in the chair. We're a little bit over here now. So we can extend one leg long. Test it out with how does that knee feel when you press down with the foot? And you're squared away toward the front. You're front facing, just like that. Let's find that block. Wrap this top arm around behind you. And now you're pulling your shoulder back. Your head's going to start to lift up, and it's like you're revolving. So the belly button or the navel area is trying to face the ceiling. That's a guide. If your neck and some part of this is just not accessible, doesn't compute, then guide yourself into the way that you can support this and breathe. Your breath is fine, smooths out, no problem. Make that adjustment. You want to feel both feet to the floor, but particularly now that bent knee leg, that's your source, that's your primary source of stability. Let's turn our head to a neutral position now. Unwrap that arm. So now it's reaching. I put the mitten hand on, straight arm right past the ear. Lighten the load. So you're really relying on your core, your standing leg, so that you're not pressing your whole body weight into the block. And then you're going to explore again on this side how to turn your head. I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out. Do I want to look up? How does it feel to drop my chin down and look towards the floor? Play with that now as you breathe. Complete those breaths. All right, really push into your standing leg. Bring your head to a very neutral position now. We're going to let go of the block and then let that other arm bring itself up, 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 up. Palms will be together. Keep them together. Get your legs back so they're hips distance apart. Situate. Let's catch up with our breath. Inhaling. Exhale, bow here at the heart. Inhale up. Exhale all the way down and around. We're going to move into the joints. I want you to just scoop up your left leg. Move through the circular movement of your ankle joint. We won't be here long. We got stuff to do. So let's move through the joints. Get the knee in there. Change the direction. Hug that knee into the chest. Use your shin to pull in and up. So flex that foot. Flex that foot. Hug knee into chest. Bring your spine very upright. Breathing in and out. You can feel your body, the belly and the thigh interacting with while you're breathing. Good. Let's put that one down and we'll just switch to the other side. Get a hold of it. Circle around. I don't need to tell you, you know, my favorite thing here is to use the strength of your arms for the holding up of this leg. Include some movement for your toes. And then go to the knee joint. You're going to circle around, some lateral movements for the knee. Change the direction. Smooth out your breath. Hug the knee into the chest. So grab hold of your shin. Pull your thigh into you. Flex that foot. Nice long spine. Breathing in, breathing out. Big belly breathing here. Good. Both feet to the floor. Let your arms kind of help you carry yourself upright and sit right back down. Situate yourself. Pay attention. Carrying yourself up. Sit yourself down. Last time we're going to come up. I'm going to grab my block all the way up. And that block is going to land between the lower legs. Squeezing the shins in. Pull the belly in. Soften the bend of the knee. You got to have a little bend there. Mountain pose. Shoulder blades pulling back. Really be aware, like you have backed yourself up against the wall. You want to feel the back of your head. You want to feel your shoulder blades touching the wall. So it lines you up in this, the back body's in a single plane. I like to rotate the arms and, you know, this palms facing forward because it helps the shoulder blades find their right place. Get real strong with your belly wall. Squeeze the block a bit. Close your eyes and reevaluate. Now, this is a time to check in. Keep your mouth soft and relaxed. The muscles around your eyes soft and relaxed. Checking in. Let's flutter those eyes open. I'm going to lose the block. It's just going to be tucked under my chair here. And let's just stand right in front of your chair, if possible. The option one, you're in front of the chair. So you're doing this as a balance challenge. If you know better, you know yourself better, you step around behind the chair and you can do the very same thing. So we're going to just take that left leg in front and back, in front and back, and then switch. So you're going to change the legs that's moving. So the standing leg is, you know, switched. Our moving leg is switched. So we did 3 on each side, I believe. Let's do the first side again. And we're going to hold this time. We did 3 now. We did 2. Here's our third one. Now let's hold that. Squeeze your thighs together and bend into your knees. See if you can bend into both knees. I'm going to give a little side view. You're just sort of bending in, a little squatting kind of action. And we're going to give a chance for each arm to reach toward the sky. So let's just find what we like best. If we like a little squat, we'd rather have them straighter. You choose. And lift one arm up. Palm of the hand is reaching toward the ceiling. And the other arm is just expressing some beautiful way to hold this. Move your head in the way it feels right. Looking up, looking down. Squeeze those legs. Feel the soles of your feet connected to the earth. But I'm curious how it feels to switch the arms. So take a moment here, one more breath. Bring that arm down. And then let's do the other side. So the legs haven't changed. What changed was the arms. Reaching up through the palm, let the other arm reach away from you or whatever. Maybe you're going to have to keep your hand on your waist. Find your breath again and your drishti, how you're holding your head, where you're looking. Finish the breath you're on. Let's bring all that back to neutral. Get your feet back together. Let's just sort of shake that out. We've got side two to do, so we switch legs to step over and back, over and back. And this time we're going to hold it. We're going to step over. We're going to bend into that like a little squat or a curtsy, keeping both feet down. And then find that whatever feels best for you. A little bit of a squat, straight legs is better for you. You find that. And we're going to extend the arm up and reach up through the palm of the hand, and the back arm is going to find some place to reach as well. So both arms fully extended. You're looking up or somewhere around, but hold it. Once you find how you're going to hold your head, stay with that as you breathe in and breathe out. Hold it. Steady your breath. Let's go a little quicker this time because we know what we're doing. We're going to switch the arms. The other arm now is reaching up. Palm is what's reaching, not the fingertips. You may decide to change your drishti, that you're going to hold yourself a little differently. Smooth out the breath. Excellent. Let's get the arms down. Mindfully now, get your feet back in place and shake yourself out. Shake that out. Let's do a little tapping. So we've got our posture in a way that just feels nice and steady. And let's tap at the top of the head at just the fingertips. Tap, tap, tap. Nice and tall as you stand here. Let's go to the temples. Center of the forehead. Just tap. You might have your eyes open or closed. You decide. Cheekbones, so you're under your eyes. Under your nose, just one hand can do it. And on your chin. Go through your collarbone, all through it, the whole width of your collarbone. And then under your armpits, cross over so you can use your palm of your hands to really move through the lymph nodes under there, just patting. Kind of using the same thing that your palms are helping you. Let's cover the legs down through the top and just cover your legs that you tapped away, front, back, inside, outside. Of course, you're in an inversion here, so respect that. Your head is hanging down. Respect the fact that you have come into an inversion as you're tapping away. So you're going to soften your knees when you make your way up. So it's an easy adjustment for your blood pressure. Let's go back to the underarms. And now we're going to do the length of our arms. I'm kind of using the fingers again. And then flip it around so you've done both top and bottom. I go through the collarbone and come on down. Can't do it wrong. You're tapping away. Beautiful. Now inhale up with me. Palms will be together. Look up. Exhale, we're bowing. Inhale up. Exhale, come down, around, interlace your fingers behind you. Interlace. I'm turning. You don't need to. Pull back and away to open your pecs. Get a nice stance, a little buoyancy of the knees. This isn't for everybody, but for those of you who want to participate in a full forward fold, you're going to keep your hands interlaced as your head goes down and the fingers and hands go up toward the ceiling. Tuck your chin in towards your throat. Keep your eyes open. Feel the connection of your feet to the floor. There's likely going to be a bend in the knee. Release your hands and arms like a rag doll. Let them just release and you keep your head down. Straighten out your feet. Let's make sure the feet are straight. Bring your hands to your shins. They're below your knees and you're going to come up to that half lift. Fingertips are at the shins or your hands are, however you find your way here, trying to flatten out your back in what's called a half lift. Flat back, half lift. It's an extended forward fold. One hand is going to reach out. So extending that arm, keep one hand on your shin, the other one extends, and we'll switch. Breathing in, breathing out. Tuck that chin in towards your throat. Both hands to your shins now. Bend the knees like crazy. We're going to come up one vertebrae at a time. Keep your chin down. Your head is down. One vertebrae at a time. Go slow. The head's the last to come up, and you find yourself once again in your mountain pose. Full breath in, full breath out. Take a little wider stance. Open up into that T. Fingers are together, thumbs pointing up. I want you to turn and bring palms together. Open that up. Turn to bring palms together. Soften the knees. So you have buoyancy of the movement here. We're not trying to lock anything in place and then get all torqued up. One more to turn to each direction. So just finish it up. We're going to go one more time on each side. And as you bring your hands back to center, keep them joined. Lift that up. Look up, inhaling. Exhaling, we bow at the heart. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Stay here. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Inhale back up. Exhale, take your big backstroke all the way down. Any movement your body needs, any reset at all you need, this is a good time. It's time to set up for Shavasana. So you might be moving toward another chair, getting a second chair, moving toward a sofa in your home, something like that. So moving into your Shavasana, meditation time of our practice. Good time to get a drink. Take good care of yourself. No rush. For most of the meditation time, I'm going to shut off my video. I'm still here and you'll still hear me making comments, but the screen will have nothing for you to look at. I want you to really stay tuned in to your experience and not be concerned that somehow you got to watch what's going on. So as soon as you feel set up, you feel comfortable. Some of you I know it's appropriate to get a blanket or a shawl or some kind of covering so that you feel warm enough. They do say that our body just can't really relax if it's not warm enough. If you're fighting off a chill in the room, you won't relax as well. So we can take care of that. That's awesome. And we begin the process of surrendering into the steadiness of the surface below that's holding us up. It's a letting go. You're not trying to take over and be in control. You're allowing that steadiness to support you. I like to use the word hold, that you're being held here. Let yourself be held as you transition into this time of meditation and restfulness. Again, make sure your facial muscles are relaxed and start to notice that you are breathing. And you're noticing how your body moves when you are breathing. Let that be a natural breath flow. And you just pay attention to it. Your body is wise. It knows how to, what to do, when to do it. Our job here is to notice. Feeling and allowing the support of that surface beneath you, being held by it. I've noticed in my own practice at this juncture, I will automatically bring my hands to my face, kind of cupping my hands around my jaw and just holding my face like that. And then use that kind internal self-talk. So if you're holding your face like I just described, or however it is you've found yourself in this position of relaxation, that you come into the awareness that there's self-talk almost always. And you're going to be sure that that talk is kind and loving. Be very personal with yourself here. It's okay. Emotion shows up. There's a sadness or just something you weren't expecting. Feels emotional. Create safe space for that. Let that be. It's okay. And you can start to feel maybe the wave of your breath. It has that quality, doesn't it? A wave of breath. And you ride the wave as you relax. I want you to be aware of the space that surrounds your head. You got to use your imagination. The space that surrounds your head. And there's a quality there of kindness, of tenderness, and of love. Can you feel that? You're breathing in from that space and out again into it. It's so sweet. It's so tender. Breathing in from the space around you and out again into it. Anytime your mind wanders, takes a little sidetrack, don't judge that. Kindly bring yourself back to the breath. It's worth it. It's worth it to come back. Feel your way back to the breath. Speak kindly to yourself. It's so natural. It's what the mind does. It wanders. So it's not like you're doing it wrong. You just come back and find your breath in and out like a wave, and you're riding the wave because that space around you is tender, loving, kind. Here's a very nice poem from our favorite Dana Falls. Here is a day, dawn to dark, a string of moments small enough to ignore or notice, a stretch of time between awakening and sleep to be savored or brushed aside in the rush to some distant destination. Here is a day different from any other, with its own flavor to be tasted. The golden glow just before the sun rose held such promises as I knew must be kept, knew beyond even the nagging whisper of doubt were true, that this very day, the whole perfection of the universe can be inhaled like the scent of fallen leaves, the heady fragrance of trees returning what was never theirs to keep. Here is a day. Let's take a big breath in through the nose and exhale it out like a sigh. Ah, this begins our transition now. Keep sighing it out as you start to introduce movement into your body. Your own pace, closing in your own way, bringing yourself perhaps back to a seated position. We'll sync up our breath. Inhale with me, palms come together overhead, look up. Exhale, bow to your heart. Stay here a moment and just check in. Remember our prayer. What needs to be said is said. What needs to be heard is heard. What needs to be released is released. And what can be embraced is embraced today. Just acknowledging that for yourself. Maybe you identify it. You can identify exactly how that came to be. Good, let's inhale up, lifting up again. As we exhale, we're going to share this beautiful mindful energy with our communities. Hands will come back to the prayer position at the heart. We bow to ourselves and we bow to one another. Namaste, my friends. Thank you for joining me.